You want any of these though?
Planning,
What else are you on?
annexation, and codes.
What
All
else?
right, good evening, everybody. We're going to begin here in about 30 seconds. Please ensure your cell phones are off or on silent, and council members, ensure your microphones are turned on. All right, today is Monday, January 16th, 2024. Today is Committee of the Whole meeting for Barberton City Council. But before we begin our Committee of the Whole meeting, we do have individual committee meetings this evening, and we will start with Street, Sidewalk, and Lighting with Mrs. Beck.
Let's see. Oops. Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I would like to bring the Streets, Lighting, and Sidewalks Committee to start. It's January 16th, 2024 at 6:02 p.m. We are in council chambers. All members are present on the committee, as well as other council members and other members in the gallery as noted on my sheet. We have no legislation requested at this time. We have no pending legislation. And are there any miscellaneous discussion or remarks from anyone, one councilor in the gallery?
Chair.
Oh, well, I was looking the wrong way.
I know it's supposed to be a quick night, but thank you, Chair. I just wanted to, any issues with the crew? I guess this is for the director. Any issues with the road crew or anything? We're good to go for Salton?
Yep. Yeah, no, all the trucks are ready. I mean, they've been out over the weekend dealing with the snow and ice as it is. I didn't even think about it. I should have probably asked them. I could have got a total, a salt total, but not having my normal Monday morning meetings with them, we kind of had an impromptu conversation today. I didn't get any of those numbers, but I can definitely get them and send them out to council if you'd like that.
Yeah, I was just asking. I was listening to them on the radio this morning, and they were all busy bees all morning, so
Yeah.
kudos to them.
I know everything seemed to go well. I mean, we didn't really get a whole lot of complaints. I didn't have any major issues, so, and all the equipment's working and functioning the way it should.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Director. Thank you, Chair.
Yep.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And with that, we adjourn at 6:04.
Thank you, Mrs. Beck. Next up is Environmental Health and Social Services with Mrs. Hager.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I would like to bring the Environmental Health and Social Services Committee to order. It is January 16, 2024 at 6:05 p.m. We are in council chambers. All members of the committee are present. Myself as chair, Toto Griffin is co-chair, Taylor Thompson and Justin Greer. All other council members is present, and guests is listed on my sheet. We have no requests for legislation and no pending legislation at this time. Is there any miscellaneous from my committee or from council? Any from the gallery? And motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
And we are adjourned at 6:05.
Thank you, Ms. Hager. Next up is Planning, Annexation, and Codes with Mr. Heidick.
Thank you, Mr. President. Planning, Annexation, and Codes. It is Tuesday, January 16th, 2024 at 6:06 p.m. The committee is present, which consists of Councilors Thompson, Harris, President Greer, myself as chair, and all others noted. We have no request for legislation, nothing pending. Do I have any miscellaneous for planning? Gallery? Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. We are adjourned at 6:06.
Thank you, Mr. Heidick. Last but not least, Finance and Personnel, Mrs. Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to bring the Finance and Personnel Committee to order. It is Tuesday, January 16, 2024, 6:06 p.m. here in Council Chambers. All members of the committee are present, which includes myself as chair, Mr. Heidick, Mr. Griffin, and President Greer. All other council members are also present, as well as guests noted on my sheet. We have no new requests for legislation nor any pending legislation at this time. I will open it up for a miscellaneous discussion for Finance Committee. Council members and the gallery. Wow. Hearing none, can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll make that motion.
We are adjourned at 6:07.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Thompson. That concludes our individual committee meetings for this evening. With no objection, I'd like to move right into the Committee of the Whole. All right. Today is Monday, January 16th, 2024. It's Committee of the Whole meeting for Barberton City Council. I call this meeting to order at 6:07 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Citizens addressing council. Other Mrs. Ludwig, I didn't check. No? Okay. All right. No citizens addressing council today, so we'll hop into committee reports, and we'll start with street, sidewalk, and lighting with Mrs. Beck.
Thank you. Tonight we met in council chamber at 6:02. We have nothing to discuss, no pending legislation, no legislation on the ballot or the thing, and with that I pass.
Thank you. Environmental Health and Social Services, Mr. and Mrs. Hager.
Thank you, Mr. President. Environmental Health and Social Services met in council chambers this evening at 6:05 p.m. We had no requested legislation, no pending legislation, no miscellaneous discussion, and we adjourned at 6:05 p.m. And with that, I pass.
Thank you. Planning, Annexation, and Codes, Mr. Heidick.
Thank you, Mr. President. Planning, Annexation, and Codes has nothing to report. That I pass.
Thank you. City Properties, Parks, and Recreation, Mr. Cheatham.
Thank you, Mr. President. City Properties, Parks and Recreation has nothing to report. I pass.
Thank you, Mr. Cheatham. Public Welfare and Safety, Mr. Harris.
Public Welfare and Safety met on January 8th, 2024. All members were present. We passed out of committee a letter, legislation for a resolution to honor Officer Shannon Davis and her 26 years of service as a Barberton police officer. And that was it. And with that, I will pass.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Rules, Marketing, Development, Ms. Gerhart.
Thank you, Mr. President. Rules, Marketing, and Development Committee has nothing to report this evening, and then I'd like to pass.
No, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Gerhart.
You're welcome.
City Utilities, Mr. Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. President. City Utility has nothing to report. With that, I pass, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. And Finance and Personnel, Mrs. Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Finance and Personnel Committee has nothing new to report. With that, I pass.
Thank you. That concludes our committee reports. This is a fast one. Is there anything from council members that they would like to share? Anything from department? Oh, Mr. Harris?
Yeah, I just want to bring up the whole 31st Street, Kungle Road intersection, Eastern Road. I've had some conversation with Mr. Shreve, and also I sent an email to the city of Norton, and they're working with their city engineer. Everybody just needs to be aware of the fact that the stop signs have changed directions. They're north and south instead of east and west now, and waiting for some answers from the city of Norton.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Is there anything else, Ms. Gerhart?
I would like to say that since Saturday, every time I turn on the faucet, I just mutter, "This is amazing." And every time I flush the toilet, I think the same way. So I really appreciate our tour.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I was like, man, she's easily impressed. Well, thank you, Ms. Gerhart.
I never knew where any of that
Yeah.
came or went, so yes, thank you.
Is there anything else from Mr. Cheatham?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to report I had my first meeting with the Parks and Recreation last Thursday. Got to meet just about everyone. I think there was one person missing, but really enjoyed the meeting and look forward to working with the people at the Parks and Recreation Department. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cheatham. Anything else from council members? Just for clarification, you did mention it, but I kind of laughed and cut you off. We had a tour. I guess I want to thank the mayor and directors and all the city workers that were involved in that tour on Saturday with some of the council members. We went and toured the water facility, the waste treatment plant, parts of it, and that's what she was referring to, just knowing how the back end works, which it was a great tour. So thank you to the mayor and everybody that made that happen. I do have, I just want to say that as we're all aware, it's Ohio. Frigid weather is going to be here for the next couple days over into the weekend and into next week, and it should start to warm up relative to what it is now. So just stay vigilant, stay safe, check on your neighbors, any elderly people, and refer them to the city if they need any resources as far as warming center. Nothing from department heads. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. President. Change for Change is January 26th at M&M Tap House, benefiting Main Street, Barberton. Still collecting non-perishables, benefiting Backham and Salvation Army. Had a nice drop-off from ARDL, business in town, last week, so I want to thank them. Continuing to work on the 2024 budget and meeting with department heads, so I want to get that to you guys as soon as we can. Still have quite a few meetings to go. There's a lot of department heads who have been sick. For them not to come in and get everyone else sick, so we're trying to get those rescheduled. In terms of the intersection in Norton, 31st Street and Eastern Road, we have been working with the City of Norton. We've been involved and diligently working with all partners, whether it's the city, it's the contractor, it's their engineering firm. As mentioned, there was a concern with the safety of this intersection. This is wholly in Norton, this intersection, this project, but Barberton's right on the outskirts there. They did install portable message signs today, and they had been waiting on enhanced flashing stop signs, LED signs, for about 10 weeks. So those have come in, and those should be installed by the end of the week. So again, we've been working with them. If you have any questions, please let me know as we continue working with them. Obviously, this is a City of Norton project. We've been working with them, but it does impact our community as it's right on, it's one of those goofy roads that's half in Barberton, half in Norton, and New Franklin has a piece over here, and Doylestown isn't too far away and all of that. So, so please let me know if you have any questions. I want to thank the council members who were able to make the tour last week or this past weekend. And I hope it did give you some understanding and appreciation and insight into the operations and collaboration between departments. And it is fascinating to see the raw water and the process it goes. And we didn't even go in the basement. It goes down another 20, 30 feet or so. And then to make it all the way down Barber Road to your house, and there it is, right? And how many millions of things could go wrong during that operation, right? And then you think, police and fire can't do their job if you don't have quality water, and if you don't have a street department, and if you don't have this, you don't have that. So it all works together, and it's all very, very important. So we'll dive into that a little bit more when the budget comes out, because at the end of the day, it's time and money. With time and money, we can do everything, right? Without time and money, you have budget hearings. So try to ease the pain there. As mentioned, the cold weather. Try to be cognizant of the temperature and the changes in weather. Schools are closing already. City of Akron closed. I believe Gritman closed due to the chill.
Mr. Mayor, Barberton will be closing.
Barberton will be closing. Okay. The Active Adult Center will continue acting as a warming center during normal hours through the end of Friday, and then we'll reevaluate things. And we stay in touch with our partners at the county level and other communities who have overnight shelter facilities and have our first responders know where they're at and who to contact. So if they do find someone that needs help, that they can get them over there. Was on a call with Summit County today, included Summit County Health Department, the Executive's Office, and EMA. COVID numbers are down. So statewide, about 2 weeks ago, there's about 17,000 reported cases, about 80 per day here in Summit County. We know that these numbers are low because these are the ones that are reported. We know that a lot of people are taking the test and not reporting them, or they're just not taking the test. Right? But just wanted to kind of food for thought that we're still dealing with COVID and we're still dealing with getting those numbers. But the flu and RSV, those numbers are increasing. So, just keep doing everything that you've been told to do over the last 5 years. Wash your hands, cover your cough, social distancing. If you're not feeling right, don't go to school, don't go to work, those types of things. Get your vaccine. All those things are still very, very relevant because those numbers are going up, and we're seeing the severity of those, the flu and RSV, really increasing, and so the hospitalization is going up as well. So. Doesn't make it very easy when it's frigid temperatures outside, but something to keep in mind as you're checking on your neighbors and loved ones with the cold weather. So that's all I have, unless there's any questions for me. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm sorry, did I hear that Barberton is closing?
Yes.
School district? Tomorrow?
Yes, it just came out.
Oh, thank you. I just couldn't hear it that well.
Okay. Yep. Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mayor. With nothing else, this meeting is adjourned at 6:18 p.m. Thank you.
Now that has got to be a record.
It's not.